The 2-year-old iPhone XR is the oldest one in the 2020 iPhone lineup. It also has the weakest CPU out of the bunch with the 2-year-old A12 Bionic. With iOS 14 being such a heavy update and the XR being the oldest iPhone on sale, does the iPhone XR still make for a good buy, or should you avoid it and look at the newer models? I'm Rohan from TechieTechTech and let's answer this question. When compared to some previous updates like iOS 12 and iOS 13, iOS 14 is a gigantic step up. iOS 14 is essentially a rehaul of the entire Springboard, which is the entire user interface of Apple's mobile operating system. A lot of people have criticized Apple's strict walled garden approach with zero to minimum customization, and iOS 14 is basically an answer for all of them with widgets and custom icons and whatnot. But when Apple announced such a major overhaul of iOS and yet confirmed compatibility with much older devices like the 5-year-old iPhone 6s, there was doubt whether Apple would actually pull it off or if these older phones would become laggy to the point that they are unusable. That doubt was even more serious for the iPhone XR because you can still walk into an Apple store and buy this thing. Nobody wants their brand new iPhone to be slow right out of the box, right? To clear up some of this uncertainty about how iOS 14 performs on the iPhone XR, I put my personal SIM in one and used it as my personal phone for around a week with iOS 14.0.1. Right off the bat, let me tell you that my experience with iOS 14 on the XR has been largely very positive. Let's talk about the performance first. The iPhone XR had no problem with iOS 12 and iOS 13 thanks to its monster A12 Bionic CPU, and I am so happy to report that iOS 14 runs just as brilliantly on the XR. Before this, I have used iOS 14 on the more powerful and the more expensive iPhone 11 Pro and even the iPhone SE, but honestly it is hard to spot any performance difference between those phones and the iPhone XR. Be it using a lot of widgets, the new sleek phone call animation, Siri's new UI, or even navigating through the new app drawer, the iPhone XR ran everything effortlessly. It truly did not feel like I was using a 2-year-old phone. Now granted, my regular usage is not that power intensive. I don't play a lot of video games, I don't edit videos, or do any other processor intensive tasks, just the regular day-to-day social media, instant messaging, web browsing and whatnot. So I decided to take it a step further. I added a ton of widgets, ran multiple apps in memory and basically pushed the iPhone XR as much as I possibly could. Still, nothing. It never once felt like this phone was struggling to keep up. But I was still not satisfied. Then I had the ridiculously foolish and brilliant idea of running a graphic intensive game with a full HD video streaming side by side in picture-in-picture mode. Honestly, I wouldn't even complain if the iPhone XR lagged here because this scenario is too crazy to be practical. Nobody watches a video while playing a video game on the same phone screen, right? But I did it anyway, and to my surprise, even in this wild scenario, the iPhone XR performed like a champ with no frame drops, no crashes and an overall smooth experience. So if you are one of those unique users who like to watch movies while playing a round of Call of Duty on their phones, I can wholeheartedly recommend the iPhone XR. One minor caveat that I did notice is that the memory management has taken a slight hit. There were times when I noticed that the phone had to reload web pages or restart a game when I selected it from the multitask menu. Of course, it's not a huge deal, but just something that I thought was worth sharing. I did not have this problem on the iPhone XS Max, which I tested before, and although it has the same A12 Bionic processor, but it has an extra gigabyte of RAM with 4GB compared to the iPhone XR's 3. Now before we sign off, I also want to take a quick moment to talk about the battery life. On my roughly 15-month-old iPhone XR, I was easily able to last a day with iOS 13 and can still easily last a day with iOS 14. When I first updated to iOS 14, the battery life did seem to be worse, but it got better over time as the new OS optimized according to my usage patterns. Of course, if you're buying a new unit, you can expect even better battery life since it has a fresh battery pack compared to my old one. In a world where buying a new phone is becoming a very expensive process, long-term usability is the need of the hour, and the 2018 iPhone XR perfectly fits that bill 2 years later in 2020. If you already are an iPhone XR user, iOS 14 breathes a fresh life into your old phone with an all-new software experience that runs extremely well and brings a host of new features and customizability to play with. It gives users a good enough reason not to upgrade for at least another year. And for people who are planning to buy a new iPhone XR right now, I can still definitely recommend this phone. Apple recently slashed the price of the iPhone XR to $499, and at this price point, it offers amazing value for your money. What's more, since the iPhone XR has been around for quite some time now, if you look hard enough, you might find some deals and discounts to get it at an even more affordable price point. So look around, do some research, and take some advantage of all those festival season offers. Until then, I hope this video helped you out guys, and if it did, please like it, share it, and subscribe to the channel. If you have any questions or doubts about the iPhone XR or any other iPhone in general, you can use the comment section below. This has been Rohan from TechieTechTech, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.